Okay, welcome to Germany, turn 4. Germany has 80 IPCs to spend, and they're going to be purchasing 2 submarines and a destroyer for 20, 7 tanks for 42, and 6 infantry for 18. They will be declaring a series of attacks. They will be loading up all of their transports in sea zones 109 and 110 with 4 tanks, 2 artillery, and 6 infantry. And they will be making their way down to sea zone 92. The tanks, the 3 tanks and the 3 infantry from sea zone 109 will be attacking Morocco. And they will be supported by a destroyer, a cruiser, and a battleship. And then the other 3 transports will be landing in Algeria unopposed. So that's what's happening there. Okay, on the Russian front, there are several attacks happening. There's walk-ins in Karelia and Vyborg. In the Baltic states, they're coming in with 3 infantry from eastern Poland. They're coming in with a tank from Germany. They're coming in with a tactical bomber from Germany and 2 strategic bombers from Germany. They will also be hitting Belarus with 2 infantry from eastern Poland and 1 strategic bomber from Germany, along with an attack on western Ukraine with 2 infantry from eastern Poland and a fighter from Germany. So that's all the attacks. So we'll get going here, and we'll start rolling some dice. Okay, we have an amphibious assault on Morocco. The cruiser Prinz Eugen and the battleship Bismarck are going to be participating in the assault, and there's 3 transport ships. The Schiff 33 Penguin, the Schiff 41 Cormoran, and the merchant vessel Wilhelm Gustloff are dropping off each a tank and an artillery. A tank and an infantry. Okay, the offshore shots get to go first, so the French plane may be killed before it gets a chance to shoot back. And it is. So the battle's over. The plane does not get to defend because in our system offshore shots are first strike. So Morocco is taken by the Germans with no casualties. Okay, for the attack on the Baltic states, the Germans are coming in with 3 infantry, 1 tactical bomber, 2 strategic bombers, and a heavy tank. So 3 1s, combined arms 4, 4, and 2 4s. Okay. 2 hits. So the 2 infantry are killed, but they are going to get a chance to shoot back. Okay, these guys have to fly away. They're not going to get a chance to shoot again, but these guys will. So here's the defense. 2 2s for the infantry, 1 2 for the artillery. 1 hit. So 1 of the infantry is killed. And now we have 2 4s and 2 1s against the lone artillery piece. 1 hit with the infantry. Go infantry. And no hits. So Germany takes the territory with 1 casualty. Okay, for the attack on Belarus, the 2 German infantry are being supported by 1 strategic bomber. And remember, we're playing a modified BBR rule, so this only gets 1 shot and then it has to fly away. Hit with the infantry, miss with the bomber. I'll take it. Okay. Russia defends and misses. So Germany takes the territory with no casualties. For Western Ukraine, 2 German infantry are coming in, supported by a fighter. Hit with the fighter. Russian defense. Hit. So Germany does lose 1 infantry, but does take the territory. Okay, non-combat. The submarine that survived the American attack in C-Zone 108 is going to move to C-Zone 109, as is the submarine from C-Zone 110. So there will be 2 German submarines in 109. The destroyer and the aircraft carrier, but not the planes from the carrier, will sail south and join the rest of the fleet in C-Zone, I think it's 92. The planes from the carrier will fly 4 spaces over to eastern Poland. They will be joined in eastern Poland by 4 infantry and an anti-aircraft. The 2 strategic bombers from the Baltic states will land back in western Germany. The 1 strategic bomber from Belarus will land in Germany. 3 infantry and 2 artillery from Germany will be railed using the factory's rail system to Bessarabia. The 2 tanks, the 2 mech, the 2 anti-aircraft in eastern Poland will move into Bessarabia. The 2 tanks from Romania will move into Bessarabia. The fighter from western Ukraine and the tactical bomber from the Baltic states will also go to Bessarabia. The 2 tanks and 2 anti-aircraft from western Germany will be railed 1, 2, 3 into Romania. 1 infantry from southern France can be railed. The military base can rail 1 infantry. It will be railed 1, 2, 3 to Romania. And 1 fighter plane from the Italian air base will fly to western Germany. I don't think I've forgotten any moves. I think that's everything. So let me tidy this up and we'll come back with placements and income. Okay, Germany's new units. They're going to place their new destroyer and their 2 new submarines in C-Zone 112. And they're going to place 4 infantry in western Germany. The 7 tanks and 2 infantry are going to be placed in Germany proper. Okay, income adjustments. 1 IPC for Karelia. No IPCs for Viborg, but it is now German. So 1 IPC for Karelia, 1 IPC for the Baltic states, 1 IPC for Belarus, and 2 IPCs for Western Ukraine is 2, 3, 4, 5 IPCs taken away from Russia. So Russia goes from 39, I guess, no, sorry, there were 38. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they go down to 33. Germany goes up from 50 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there is more actually because they're going to take Algeria and Morocco from the French, although the French are no longer collecting income. So that's 2 IPCs. So that's 57. And France goes down from 7 to 5. Okay, this is actually going to result in something very interesting because they are over 53 IPCs. So what that means is all of a sudden we have some new pro-Axis territories on the board. Argentina and Chile are now pro-Axis. And so if the Germans can get down there, they can activate those. And there is a port down there, so they might want to. So we'll see what happens there. All right, income. So they're sitting right now at 57 IPCs. And they do get 2 bonuses. 1 bonus for controlling London, and 1 bonus that is brand new because Argentina and Chile are now pro-Axis. So they're going to get 67 IPCs to spend at the beginning of round 5. So let's do our disposition of forces. In 109, there are 2 subs. In the UK, there are 5 infantry and 1 artillery. In Sea Zone 112, there is a destroyer and 2 subs. In Western Germany, there are 2 strategic bombers, 1 fighter, and 4 infantry. In southern France, there's an infantry. In Morocco, there are 3 infantry and 3 tanks. In Algeria, there are 3 infantry, 1 tank, and 2 artillery. In Sea Zone 92, there are 6 transports, 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 1 carrier, and 1 destroyer. Moving west, in Germany proper, there is a strategic bomber. There are 7 tanks, 2 infantry. In Poland, there is a tactical bomber, a fighter, 4 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft. In the Baltic states, there are 2 infantry and 1 tank. In Viborg, there's an infantry. In Karelia, there's an infantry. And in Finland, there are 3 infantry. In Belarus, there are 2 infantry. In western Ukraine, there's an infantry. In Romania, there are 2 tanks, 2 anti-aircraft, 1 infantry. And then in Bessarabia, there is quite a bit. So there is a tactical bomber, a fighter, 2 mechanized infantry, 3 anti-aircraft artillery. How many do we have here? 6 artillery. 5 tanks. And then a lot of infantry. How many do we have here? Let's count. 4, 8, 14 infantry. So Ukraine is almost certainly going down next turn. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, he could move his factory. He could back up. He could do a lot of things. He could attack if he were suicidal, I guess. But we'll see what happens there. Oh, sorry, there is a little bit more. Down in southern Italy, there are 4 tactical bombers and 2 fighters. I forgot to mention those as well. Okay, so Germany's on the move, and Russia's up next. We'll see what they do with these 2 big forces here, and of course what they continue to do to the Japanese in the east. So Russia's up next. Stay tuned.